This video is a quick review for our Unit 1, Quiz 1. So using the diagram, answer questions 1 and 2. So in number 1, we want to say true or false, can we assume this? So in letter A, D, A, and B are non-collinear. So D, A, and B, non-collinear means they are not on the same line, which we can see they are not. So this would be true. In B, point E is E. Well, E is between those, so that would be true. Letter C, angle DEC. So DEC is this angle, and angle BEC, this angle, equal 90 degrees. Now, there is no marking there, so we don't know if that's true, so false, we cannot assume that. D, AB, BC, CD, DA, AC, and BD are all line and DB are all lines. Well, we only need 2 points to form a line, so this is true. We can assume that those are all lines. In number 2, we want to rename line DE in all possible ways. So line DE is this line for here that goes on for in both directions forever. So we can switch E and D. We can also switch B in for either of the letters. So we can name it a couple of different ways. We can switch this. So we can call it ED. And then we can put B in for one of those letters. So we could do BE and EB. Or we could put B in for D or for E and we get DB and BD. So those are all possible ways to name the line. In 2B, rename angle BAE in all possible ways. So angle BAE is this angle right here. Notice that another letter on the ray with E is C. So we can switch the order of the original, or we can put C in place of E. So we could name it angle EAB. We can name it angle BAC, or we can name it angle CAB. In letter C, we want to know, where does line BD intersect line AC? So when we are intersecting, we have line BD and we have line AC. Their intersection is at point E. And in part D, we want to know, what do those three segments form? So if we look at segment AD, segment DE, and segment AE, they are forming a triangle. So we're going to put our triangle symbol with those three letters. So this would be triangle ADE. Remember that you can put the three letters in any order you want. Number 3, EH is divided by F and G into the ratios of 6, 5, and 11 from left to right. If EH is 88, find FG and name the midpoint of EH. So if we are dividing it with the ratio, we have EH is our whole line. Then we have F and G. EF is 6. Remember, these are all reduced by a multiple of x, so we're going to call it 6x, 5x, and 11x from left to right. And we know that EH is 88. So to solve for x, we would add 6x plus 5x plus 11x equals 88. So we get 22x is equal to 88. So x is 4. When we go to substitute in, 6 times 4 is 24, 5 times 4 is 20, and 11 times 4 is 44. Now, if we are looking at which one is the midpoint, so let's look at F first. What comes before F is 24. What comes after F is 64. Those are not in half. If we look at point G, What comes before G is 24 and 20, which is 44. What comes after G is also 44, which means G is our midpoint. Number 4, angle Z is acute. What are the restrictions on angle Z? So remember, if you have an acute angle, it has to be between 0 and 90. So we would say 0 is less than the measure of angle Z, which is less than 90. What are the restrictions on X? So we're going to put 3x minus 7 in place of our measurement of angle Z. So we have 0 is less than 3x minus 7, which is less than 90. So whatever we do to the middle, we have to do to both sides. So first we're going to add 7. So we get 7 is less than 3x, which is less than 97. When we divide by 3, it's not divisible, so we're just going to leave it as a fraction. 7/3 is less than x, which is less than 97/3. In number 5, find the measure of ABD. So angle ABD is right here. With this box, we know together that those two angles are 90, so we're going to add them together. X squared minus 30 plus x plus 10 is equal to 90. Because there's an x squared, we know we're going to have to factor. So we get x squared plus x minus 20 equals 90. We're going to move 90 to the other side. So x squared plus x minus 110 is equal to 0. So we need two numbers that multiply to 110 and add to 1. So they are numbers that are right next to each other. So we have x plus 11 and x minus 10 is equal to 0. When we switch our signs, x is negative 11, x is 10. Now, negative 11 will not work because if I substitute that into this angle, I would get a negative number. So that's not going to work as a solution. We just have x is 10. So to find the measure of angle ABD, we're going to substitute in. So we have 10 squared minus 30, which gets us 70 degrees. Number 6, angle WT is congruent to HS. Solve for x. What is the length of HS? Is WT congruent to BD? So we know that WT and HS are congruent. So we have 4x plus 11 is equal to 7x minus 19 because congruent segments mean they have the same length. So we get 3x is equal to 30, x is 10. If we go and find our lengths, HS is one that it wants us to find. So 7 times 10 minus 19 is 51. WT is 4 times 10 plus 11, which is 51. It should make sense that those two are the same since they are congruent. We want to know, is WT congruent to BD? So now we need to substitute into BD. So 9 times 10 minus 49 gets us 41. So is WT congruent to BD? Well, they don't have the same length. So no, because the segments have different lengths.